Heavenly Father, we come to you in this hour, asking for your guidance and protection to our virtual gathering today. We thank you for the gift of life, the gift of family, the gift of work, and the gift of friendship. We thank you for this great opportunity to bring us together in this session as brothers and sisters. Bless the committee, the facilitator, and the attendees of this gathering. May we continue to value and appreciate the true essence and meaning of life with the help of your grace. And as we go along to our discussion today, we humbly pray that you would deepen our understanding. Lord, enlighten us and give us wisdom every day. Forgive us for our shortcomings and remind us to always be mindful of the things we do in life. We offer our life and our decisions to you, O Lord. May this gathering today create a memorable experience and a fruitful outcome. We ask this through our Lord Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and our Savior. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. From the Office of Soul, I'm Cindy Ruth Villariza, the Secretary of the office. So before we begin this session, let me remind you to please mute your microphone, rename your Zoom to your complete name and department so that we can identify you. You may turn on your video camera during the session. And later, there will be an open forum if you have any questions with regards to this session. Please type it in the chat box or use the raise hand in Zoom reaction button and unmute yourself. Reminder, this session is video recording and recordings will be made available at the Silliman Online University Learning website, and we also have YouTube channel. You may search it through Silliman Online Website Learning. Then click subscribe to it so that we can watch other previous e-trainings that we have conducted. Today, we will have an interesting topic to talk about a feedback management using badges and digital certificates in MISO. Our trainer for today is Mr. Jade Montemayor, a faculty member at the Office of Soul. Let's give him our virtual applause. Sir Jade, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Ma'am Cindy.
Welcome, sir.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to today's session. So I can see that we have around at least five warm bodies, except for Soul team, right? So we have Ma'am Nasvik, we have Ma'am Gladys, we have Ma'am Grace, Ma'am Elcon, and we have Ma'am Minerva. So welcome, and I hope that this will be an interesting afternoon for all of us. So before we start, let me just okay. Good afternoon. Let me just share my screen. Okay, hold on. All right. So I hope you can see my screen now. Let me just close this one. So our topic for this afternoon is basically we have two topics. The first part of our topic is about we will talk about badge or badges, and then the second part we will talk about digital certificate. Before we start, I want you to think of the word badge. Okay. So as a child, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with what is a badge, right? So I want you to think of the word badge. Okay. Because I want you to answer a question that I'm preparing a poll for everyone. Let me just share this one. Chat. Okay. So time's up. If you notice, I uh, I encoded something in the chat box. It's a link to a survey or basically a poll. I want you to answer that particular question. So, what comes into your mind when you hear the word badge? Okay, so I'm hoping that everyone will answer. Again, the question is what comes into your mind when you hear the word badge? To answer, kindly click the link. A patch, right? It's a word, yes. Reward, yeah, it can be a patch, it can be an award, and of course, eh, it's a sticker, of course, why not? It's a sticker. 15 seconds more. Okay, we have patch, we have sticker, we have a reward, and we have an award. 5, 4, stamp, of course, stamp, and then we have star. Yes, I remember as a child we have this star in our hands if we got perfect to a particular exam. Very good. Well, at least most of the answers are talks about reward system, right? As you can see, this is a word cloud, meaning if this particular word is being repeatedly answered by the poll, yeah, it being used repeatedly by the responders, then it will grow bigger. So as you can see, reward is used repeatedly. So we at least correlate the word reward to badges. So to move forward, let me share my other screen. So just to give you a quick background as to what a badge is. So yeah, this will be our objective for today's training. We basically have just two objectives. The first one is to create and manage badges, and the second one would be creating and managing a digital certificate, is what I've said. So when we talk about badge, a badge is a digital badge is a representation of an accomplishment, interest, or affiliation that is visual, available online, and contains metadata, including links that help explain the context, meaning, and process and the result of a particular activity. So we are not talking about a physical badge, but we will be talking about the badge that will be available online or the digital badge. This was said, by the way, by David Gibson. So these are some of the common uses of badges. So we have for motivation, recognition, and credentialing, and we have evidence of achievement. So at least those are some of the common uses of badges. So for Soul, we have two types of badges. So we have the site badge, which is available to users site-wide and related to site-wide activities like finishing a set of courses. So those are for the site badges. This will be set up by the site administrator. We also have the course badge, which we'll be talking later. So the course badge will be available to users enrolled in any course inside our LMS and related to the activities that happen inside a particular course or inside a particular virtual classroom. So we will be dealing more on the course badges as we go on with today's topic. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So that's just a short background as to what really a badge is. And moving forward, I will be showing you how to create or how to create and manage badges. Okay. So I hope that you are using at least two devices as of the moment. You have your phone for listening and you have your maybe laptop or PC for the actual application of today's webinar. So I will be sharing my other screen. Okay, share. All right. So as you can see, I have prepared a virtual classroom just for today's webinar, and the name of the classroom is Badge and Custom Certificate 101. So I will be showing you a badge that I created last night. So this is a sample badge. As you can see, it is the usual badge that is being distributed on the other online platforms. Particularly, this one is uniquely made for Soul. So you have this round badge that will be distributed to all the participants of this webinar after you fulfill a particular activity. Okay. So how did I create that particular badge? Well, it is actually very easy to create or at least manage a badge inside the course. What's uh, What's more challenging is how to create the actual badge itself. So again, we have multiple platforms in terms of creating badges. We can use Photoshop, we can use Pixlr, we can use any other online platforms that can actually edit images, right? But in my case, what I did was I actually created the badge using Microsoft PowerPoint. So how did I create a badge using Microsoft PowerPoint? So let me open PowerPoint first. Okay. So I will be just removing all the elements inside the PowerPoint. So what I did was I inserted a shape, right? So I want that my badge will be a circle badge. So what I did was I inserted a shape and then I removed the outline, no outline, and then I basically change the color of the shape to the usual color of the cinnamon, which is maroon, right? So I will be changing this to something like that. So I now have a circle shape with a maroon feel. And then I inserted another shape. So let me just let me make sure that the shape is in the center. Okay, that's it. And then I will add another shape. Okay, I'm just going to adjust this one. Something like that. And I'm going to change the feel of this one. I will remove the outline and then I will change the feel to just say white. So there we have a at least a base for our badge. And then how did I incorporate images inside this particular circle? So let me just save it first. I'm going to save it in my downloads and I'm going to type sample badge. Okay, save. There you go. So if you notice in my previous sample badge, I have this image inside the circle, right? So how did I make it from scratch or did I download it from somewhere else? I will show you a website wherein you can download all different icons, very nice icons that can be used for badges. Okay? So if you go to flaticon.com, so this is the website for flaticon.com. This is basically a collection of different icons that you can use in different uses. You can use it in your website, you can use it in your class, you can use it again with badges. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and click, like for example, I will create a badge for a quiz. So let me just type the word quiz and it will basically generate icons related to your keyword, which is quiz. So these are some of the icons related to quiz, right? So I think I'm going to use, let's just say, this one, this circle quiz icon here. So you're just going to click that. And then you have two options here at the right side. You can either download the PNG version of that particular icon or the SVG. Well, in our case, we will be using the PNG. So I will click PNG, free download, of course. And yeah, you have to, of course, attribute the author if you're going to use it somewhere online. So Now that my icon is downloaded, I can go to my downloads folder and I can see that the quiz icon, actually I downloaded it earlier. So I have now the quiz icon, right? So how am I going to include that in my badge, in this particular badge? So in the PowerPoint, I'm just gonna click insert picture and then downloads. Of course, this is where the downloads will be stored, and then click that particular icon, insert, and there you go. So you now have the quiz icon incorporated in your PowerPoint shape. Okay. So well, at least in this case, we can now use it as a badge. But if you want to make it more stylish, if you want to explore additional styling for this particular badge, of course you can do that. But in this case, I'm enough, or I mean, I'm okay with this particular badge. So what I'm gonna do is I cannot save it as a JPEG, or I cannot save it as a badge yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to snip this particular PowerPoint slide. So if you're using a Windows PC, you can just type the snipping tool right here, or you can press Windows Control in your keyboard and the letter S. So snipping tool, and let's wait for it. There you go. Just wait, I cannot see my snipping tool there. There you are. So the mode is rectangular snip, and I'm going to snip this one. So this will be our draft badge, right? So I'm going to save it, file, save as, and then this will be the draft badge, save. So I'm going to close it and I'm going to go to the downloads folder where I can see the draft badge. Now, if you notice, if I'm going to open it, yes, we can call it a badge, but then again, this is not a circular badge. This is more like a square badge. But what we really wanted is a circular badge. How can we remove the white background that is currently present in our badge? So I will show you another online platform that could easily remove backgrounds for our images. So let me go back to our browser. And from here, you just have to type, if you're using Google Chrome, just type remove BG. And the very first top, or the top result would be the remove.bg website. So you're just going to click this one, and this will be the interface so that you can remove the background. And then you just upload an image, click upload image. Just look for that particular draft badge that you created earlier, and then open. So there you go. As you can see, some parts of our badge is distorted because it was removed automatically by this particular platform. If this is the case, what you can do is you can just click the edit button here, and then you have two tabs, by the way. On the right side you have background, and then you have erase or restore function. Then you can just go to erase or restore function, choose restore, and then you can choose the brush size. So this will be the size of the brush. And then you can just simply brush here so that the image that is being removed in this particular area will be restored. So when we are going to restore everything, at least inside the circle. So currently, our picture right now, or the image that we are currently creating right now, has a transparent background. We can now say that this is a circular badge. So once you're done, you can just click download, download image, and this will be our badge. we can see that some of the background was not fully restored. So you can go back. You can, I'm just going to close this one and then click restore. And then I'm gonna increase, sorry for that, increase the brush size. I'm going to brush all sides here so that it will restore all the white backgrounds in our badge. Okay, I think we're done. We can click download, download image. And if you notice, I have some area here that has white color. It's basically because I use a bigger brush. But let me just create it one more time so that it will be clearer. Okay, so here I'm just going to uh, edit and then restore, increase the brush size carefully. If you have some area that you want to be restored, just be very careful that it will not extend to the outer side so that the resulting image will be a beautiful image. So I'm just going to restore this part here and then click download, download, and there you go. So I think this is much better than the previous one. So there you go. That's how you create a badge. Again, there are two parts in terms of creating badge. So the first part is the actual creation of the badge, and the other part is the managing of badges inside our virtual classroom. So any question, by the way, for now? You can type your questions in the chat box. I hope you were able to follow in terms of how do we create badges. Yes, Ma'am Gladys, we can also use Canva in terms of creating badges. But for Canva, most of the badges in Canva is in rectangular form. So what you can do is once it's created in Canva, you can download it and then remove the background because badges looks better if they are if the background is transparent. But yes, you can use Canva, definitely. Okay. All right. So now that we have our badge, this is just a very simple badge, by the way. So now that we have our badge, what we can do now is we're going to incorporate the badge to our virtual classroom. Okay. So if you can, you can open any of your virtual classrooms. I'm pretty sure they are still available at least today. So you have your virtual classrooms in your hidden courses or in your courses. Let's try to incorporate a badge inside our virtual classroom. So currently, I'm in this particular virtual classroom, the Badge and Custom Certificate 101. So how do I incorporate badges inside my course? So inside the course, you can just go to the settings option here at the upper right side. And then if you notice, you have badges here, right? So you have edit settings, course completion, you have outcomes, and then you have badges. Okay. Uh, yes, ma'am. For the website for the icons, that's flaticons.com, or you can just look it up at Google, ma'am. Flat icons. That's it. Just look it up, ma'am, and then you have flaticons.com. Okay. So going back to our badges, so just go to badges, and then since currently we don't have any badges yet, of course we're going to add a new badge. So we're going to fill out some of the information about the badge here. Let's just say this badge is for a quiz badge or quiz one badge, right? So this is a sample name of the badge. This badge is for quiz one. So uh, whoever finishes quiz number one will be receiving this particular badge. So the version is this is version number one. So that's version one. And then what's the description? So user or student who finished quiz 1. Okay, so that could be a description, or you can just basically create your own description. And then you're going to choose a file. So this is where you're going to upload the created badge. So this one, open, and then upload. So I now have the badge image here, and then you can skip this for now. For the expiry date, you can set it in such a way that it can be it or it can never expire, or you have a fixed date wherein in a particular date this particular badge will expire, or relative date. So let's just say after 10 days after the issue of this badge, this badge will expire. But in this case, let's leave it as default, never, meaning this badge will never expire. So create badge. So that's it. We now have our badge. So that's how you set up the badge. Second part of setting up the badge is the criteria. So what would be the criteria so that a particular user will receive this particular badge? So if you notice, you have here criteria, right? And then you have five criterias, five options that you can choose under add badge criteria. You have manual issue by role, you have course completion, you have awarded badges, activity completion, and competencies. Now, when we talk about manual issue by role, meaning this particular badge will be manually issued by a particular role. Let's just say a non-editing teacher, a manager, or a teacher. So those are the roles that can issue the badge. So if, for example, a manager wants to issue this particular badge to a particular user, then of course he can do that using the manual issue by role. Course completion, meaning if a particular user completed all the necessary requirements in a particular course, then this particular badge will be awarded to this user. So that's what a course completion is. And then we have awarded badges. Awarded badges will be you have to earn badges. It's like a prerequisite badges before you earn this particular badge. So like you have badge 1, 2, 3. So before you can earn badge number 4, you have to earn the three badges first, the first and second and third badge. Okay, and then activity completion. Of course, if you completed, the requirement will be you must complete a particular activity. Like for example, you must complete quiz number 1 for you to receive this particular badge. That would be the case in terms of activity completion. And then competencies, if you meet a particular competency in your course, then you will be receiving this badge. But currently, we don't have, or we don't have a setup for competencies yet. So I would assume that we will be using the four badge criteria at least for now. So the manual issue by role, course completion, awarded badges, and activity completion. Okay. So in this case, I will be this will be a manual issue by role. So meaning this badge will be manually issued by a particular role. Okay. So that's it. So who will be the role, or what will be the role that can issue this particular badge? So as you can see, you have three options. You have manager, non-editing teacher, and the teacher. You can have them all checked so that all of them can release or can give this particular badge, or you can have just the teacher to release the badge. Now, this criterion is complete when is it all of the selected roles awards the badge or just any? So most of the case, since we manage our own virtual classroom, so at least we just have to say it's the teacher. So any of the selected roles awards the badge. So this would be enough, and then you go and click save. So that's it. The badge is now created. So as if you can see, you have a warning here that says the badge is currently not available to users. Enable access if you want users to earn this badge. Now take note that you have to set everything first in terms of the setup of the badge before you enable access, because once enable access is enabled, then you cannot edit the setup of the badge. So I think I'm good with the settings of the badge, at least for now. So I'm going to click enable access. Okay. So there's a warning that says this will make your badge visible to users and allow them to start earning it. It is possible that some users already meet this badge's criteria and will be issued this badge immediately after you enable it. Once a badge has been issued, it will be locked. Certain settings, including the criteria and expiry settings, can no longer be changed. Are you sure you want to enable access to the badge quiz one badge? I would say yes. Continue. Okay. So now I can now distribute, or I can now manually give the badge to a deserving student. So let me just go back to my course here, and let's just pretend I have a user. I will go to users, enrolled user, and currently I have one student sample. So I will open a another window and log in as student. Okay. So this will be my course, Badge and Custom Certificate 101, and this is the same course. So as a student, I'm going to open this one, and this is the course, at least from the student standpoint. So if you go to course dashboard, you have here badges, and if you click, remember that this is the student account, right? Now, if you click badges here, these are the available badges in the course. Okay, so this will be the criteria for you to receive this particular badge, and currently it's not awarded to you. So how are you, or as a teacher, how are you going to award this badge to the students? So as a student, I'm just going to go back here in the dashboard, and then let me open back the teacher account. So going back to the course page. By the way, any question for now in terms of setting up the badge? Nasundan ra or paspas ra? So anyway, we're going to review all the processes after we run through with creating a badge. Okay, so let's try to award the badge first to the student, and then we're going to review how did we set up the badge. So to award a badge, take note that this particular badge is will be awarded using the manual criteria. So meaning the teacher will be the one to award the badge manually to the students. So to award the badge, just click settings and then go to badges, manage badges this time. So in my course, I have two badges. I have creating and managing badges. That's the first badge. And I have the quiz one badge, the one that we created earlier. Now, if you notice and under the recipients column, both of them says zero, meaning nobody has been awarded by this particular badge yet. So for you to award a badge to a student, just click the zero part here. This is a link. It's clickable zero. So just click that one, and then it says the badge has not been earned yet. Are you sure you're going to award a badge? Just click award badge. And in the right side, you will see all the students in your class, potential badge recipients. And on the left side, you have the existing badge recipients. Currently, of course, we don't have any existing badge recipients yet. So for you to award a badge, you simply click the name of that particular student and then click award badge. Now, let me just point the difference, okay? Before I'm going to award the badge, let me just go back to the student account and click here, my courses, and I will go to the profile of the student. If you notice, this is the profile of the student as of today. Okay, now watch what will happen if I'm going to award the badge to the student. So I'll just click this, the name of the student, award badge. So now we have one recipient, uh, student sample. And if I will go back to the student account and refresh, the student now has a badge. So this is where all the badges that will be earned by a particular student will be displayed in the profile. It can also be displayed inside that particular course, Like for example, if you go to the course dashboard, you go to badges, and there you go. It's being awarded to you on July 6 of 2021. So that's how you award a badge using the manual role criteria. Any question? Wala ra? By the way, you can turn on your mics if you want to say something, or you can just chat your queries in the chat box. That would be fine. Okay, Ra? Sige, I will give another run through in terms of how did we set up the badge, right? Okay. So I will go back to the teacher account. So this is the teacher account. I will go back to the course and I'm going to delete that particular badge. I'm going to badges, manage badge, and then this is the badge, right? I'm going to delete this one. Are you sure you want to delete and remove? Yes. Okay, so we now have one badge remaining. So again, we're going to set up the badge once again. So as a teacher, for you to set up the badge, make sure, of course, make sure you have a badge first, right? So now that we have our own badge, what we can do is we go to settings and then look for badges. This part, click badge, and then add a new badge. So from here, we're going to fill out some of the information related to the badge. So let's just say this is a quiz one badge. And the version, this is optional. If you want to put a version number, that would be fine. If wala ra po kay version, that's also fine. And then you have the description. So the description will be student who finished quiz one. And then students. And then you have, of course, you're going to upload the badge na. So this is the badge, upload, and expiry date, just leave it to never, create badge. And after that, you have to set the criteria. So same as earlier, this will be a manual issue by role, right? Because this course is empty, the only thing that I can do here is manual issue by role. So manual issue by role, meaning you as a teacher can manually issue the badge. So you have different roles that you can choose. Just choose teacher, and this criterion is complete when any of the selected roles awards the badge. Currently, there's only one, so let's just choose any of the selected roles awards the badge, and then save. And then you have to enable access so that users can access the badge. Enable access, and then you have just going to click continue on this part so that enable access will be enabled. So now that the badge is visible to the students, you can now award the badge. So how do you award a badge? At least from this part, you can go to the recipients. It says 0, meaning no recipients yet. And then you have a button that says award badge. So just click award badge. Just look for that particular student who will be awarded this particular badge, and then just simply choose the student and click award badge. And the badge will then be awarded to the student. Yes, ma'am, this is very useful. Yes, ma'am, Gladys. As what I've said, this will be very useful, at least for the SBE guy. They can actually see different badges and different courses that they have. Okay, so that's how you award a badge in terms of the manual issue or the manual role. So what if, for an instance, you want to award a badge, let's just say because a user completed a particular task. So that will be our next, that will be our activity for today. Okay, so the activity is you are going to create your own badge, a very simple badge lang. I will give you a detailed instruction as to how you're going to create the badge. And then I want you to submit the badge on this course, because if you're going to submit a badge in your profile, you will be receiving this badge, the badge 101, meaning you were able to create a badge na in My Soul platform. Okay? So our activity for today is you're going to create your own unique badge. Sir, naabay, is there a particular criteria in terms of how do we create a badge? You can create your own badge as long as dili lang po siya dako. In terms of file, it should be at least the minimum requirements for a badge should be 100 by 100 px to at least 500 by 600 px. So that's not a very huge file. So I'm going to give you, or if you want to use the template, this one, if you want to use this one as your base badge, and then you can put the icons inside, I'm going to, you can just click the link here. This is a downloadable link from the Google Drive. And then from there, you can open PowerPoint, you can insert that template, and then you can download the icons from the flat icon. This is the website flaticon.com. You can download tons of icons in this particular site. It can be, let's just say, um, collaboration icons. You have tons of collaboration icons here. These are free to all, at least for those icons that don't have this sign. Okay, those are paid icons. But there are tons of icons available in this site. And then you can use PowerPoint, you can use Paint, you can use Photoshop if you want, you can use Canva, you can use Pixlr or any other platforms to edit the image, and make sure that your badge is, if you want it to be circle, it should be a clear background badge. And if you're done, you are going to submit that badge here in this assignment. So what I'm going to do right now is to all the participants, I will be enrolling you all to this particular course so that you can access the assignment tab. So I will give you 15 minutes to create your own badge. Dali na siya if you have the icons na, and then I want you to submit it here in the assignment so that in your profile you will be receiving this badge 101 badge. Okay? Sige. So, ready na mo to create your own badge? So, I'm going to enroll users here. Sige, go. Ma'am Nasvik, thank you. So I'm going to enroll all the participants in this sample course so that you can see the requirements, and then you can create na your own badge. We have Ma'am Nasvik. We have Ma'am Gladys. Uh, ah, okay. So I already added you as users or as students of this particular course. And yeah, just try to create a simple badge and then submit it in the assignments tab here in the badge part. Ma'am Grace Apaw. Sige, I will give you 15 or 10 to 15 minutes to create the batch. So let me just show you the some of the badges that were submitted by other participants. Hold on. This badge was from Ma'am Gladys Alcantara. So it's a red circle badge with a star in the middle and it says perfect score. Keep it up. Okay, thank you, ma'am. This one is from, let me just open this. Sorry, not this. This one is from Ma'am Minerva. Thank you, ma'am, for submitting this badge. And then we have this one from Ma'am Maria Elcon Corcamp. Thank you, ma'am, for submitting this badge. So yeah, it's that easy to create a badge. All you have to do as a teacher is to manage how do students uh, get the badge, or how do students awarded with a badge. So yes, oo, makalingaw gyud na siya, especially for the students. It would come to a point wherein they would compete for a badge. So not the dili maayo nga competition, but it's always good to have a little competition just to get something which is achievable by all, not just achievable by a single person. Yes, Ma'am Gladys, part of that would be one of our target, that we will eventually have a set of badge which is for Silliman University, so that we will have a uniform badge that will be distributed to students. We will have that, ma'am. This is duly noted. We will create our own set of badges, at least for the Silliman community. So there you go. Time's up. And by the way, the badges that you will be incurring in My Soul platform, you can actually store it in a platform called badger.com. This is where you can store, or this is like a backpack for badges, wherein you can also accumulate badges from other sites. So there you go. That easy in terms of creating badges. So sa ato na lang yung side is how do we create a badge? How do we make a badge which is at least more or less attractive to students? And how do we manage in terms of awarding the badge? Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So yeah, is there any more question in terms of creating badges? You can also set the badge in such a way that if, for example, a particular user finished a particular course, then they can be given this particular badge. Like, for example, I'm going to manage this badge. Di ba we have the badge now for quiz one? So since we cannot edit the badge because it has been enabled, I'm going to copy the badge, and then I'm going to change the criteria so that instead of this particular badge being manually issued by the teacher, this badge now can be awarded to the student if a student completed a particular activity. So, like for example, this is activity completion. So, in my course, or at least in our sample course, we have three activities. We have the assignment one, which is of course the badges. We have quiz, and then we have a custom certificate. So like for example, if you completed the assignment one. Let me just cancel this one. So not this badge, but the other badge na lang para na a variation for badges. So this one, the creating and managing badges. So I'm going to set this badge in such a way that you will be awarded by this badge if if you complete the assignment. Okay, so I'm going to give a grade to all who submitted to this particular assignment so that you will receive the badge. You can also check your profile and see if you earned the badges that I'm showing here. Yes, you can just set conditions and then the badge will be automatically released or automatically be awarded to the students. Okay. So if you can check your profile now, I hope that there will be two badges now in your profile. Let me just open this one. So badges. All right. So that's how you create badges. So again, you can set conditions on how do students get the badge, or you can manually give the badge or award the badge to the students. So if there's no more question in terms of creating and managing badges, let's proceed to yes, ma'am, Nasvik. You can turn on your mic, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, makalingaw, but then I was not able to proceed. I have problem with my snipping tool.
Mm.
Mm.
Sige lang, ma'am. If your snipping tool is not working, you can use the print screen function on the keyboard. Are you using a PC, ma'am, or a laptop?
PC,
On the keyboard, you have the print
Control
screen.
S.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so I did that and it's not
Mhm.
working also.
And then after pressing the print screen, you can go to Paint, and then you can paste from there.
Print screen paint.
Yes, ma'am. You
Okay,
click print screen and then open Paint and then paste.
then paste. Okay, I'll try to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Sige, ma'am. All right. So I think we're good to go in terms of badges. So what I really want you to do is I want you to explore lang ginagmay, how do you create a badge, how do you award a badge manually, or set a condition in terms of a student must achieve or must complete this particular activity so that they will be awarded by this badge. So really the challenge in terms of badges is how do you create the badge. So mas maayo gid ang tato if we have a set of badges for our university. Sige lang, we will be hoping na I hope we can have our own set of badges at least for this year. Okay? Yes, ma'am. All right. So if there's no more question, one message. Yes. So what Sir Dave said, we will make a standard badge for all. Okay. Sige, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. By the way, all right. So the second part of our training for this afternoon is about creating certificates. So this is not just usual certificates, these are digital certificates, right? So like badges that you can award, that you can automatically award using different sets of conditions, it's the same with certificates. So you can award certificates based on, like for example, if a user completed this particular activity. Okay, so how do you create certificates in your virtual classroom, or how do you manage and create certificates inside your virtual classroom? So as a teacher, you can create a custom certificate. So I would suggest that before creating a custom certificate, that you have your template na. So it's I mean, at least it's not easy for us to create a certificate from scratch here in inside the virtual classroom, but it's much easier if you have your own template. Like for example, in my case, I'm using Canva. So if you go to Canva, so I hope you are familiar now with what is Canva. We've been using it from last year's training. So this is Canva. You can just sign up. It's a free platform. This is where you can look for things like infographics. You can also have your badge taken from Canva, and you also have your certificates from Canva. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type certificate. There are tons of templates in terms of certificates in Canva. These are all for free, right? So you can just choose your own template and then you can manipulate that particular template. So like in my case, I'm just looking for a minimalist uh, kind of certificate. Just look for here. Hmm. Sige, I'll just use this one. So this is like, so again, before you create or before you manage a certificate inside the virtual classroom, you need to have at least a template certificate. Okay, so this is where we're going to create the template certificate. So all the elements in this particular certificate can be edited. So this is completion certificate. Yeah, I'll just leave it as is. And then there's a name. You just have to remove the name. And then like for the label for completing our short course and our short course, I will just change this to managing feedback using badges. And there you go. So this one, I'll just change this to my name. And I'm not the CEO, I'm just change this to, and I'm going to remove this because I don't need this. So this is just a very simple example of what a certificate looks like, right? So you can have your own template, you can create your own style. This is just for sample purposes, all right? So then this will be my template for the certificate. All right, okay. So now that my template is finished, I'm just going to download this one. If you're in Canva, just take a look at the upper right side. You have the downloads button, right? So just click this one. And then of course that would be in a PNG. So that's suggested. So just click download. It says downloading here. And I now have my template certificate. What's next? So now that I have the template certificate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside my sample course. So let me just go back to my course. Sorry for that. So here, yeah, I'm just going to show this. So as a teacher, you have this option here, create learning activity, right? So just click create learning activity and then look for custom certificate. So once again, go inside your course, click Create Learning Activity, and then Custom Certificate. And from there, just give it a name. Just what's the name of your certificate? In my case, this will be Sample Certificate. And you can have the description if you want. The description is optional. For the settings in the right side, we can just change it later. For now, I'll just click Save and Display. By the way, before clicking Save and Display, just hide it first. Hide from students here in terms of the visibility, and then Save and Display. So this will be our certificate. Sir, there's nothing there. Yes, because this is where you can see the number of recipients that's been awarded to the certificate. How can you edit the actual certificate? So from this page, just click the settings icon or the gear icon at the upper right side, and then go to edit certificate. Again, if you are in this page, just click the gear icon and then edit certificate. Okay, so this is where you can actually add elements to your certificate. You can adjust the width, the height, the margin if you want. So first is the background image of our certificate will be the template certificate that we created from Canva, right? So if you can see, you have the add element button here and it says background image. If you notice, these are tons of options here, but we have to create the background image first. So click background image and then add element. Okay, so I have a sample element here. I'm just going to remove this one because I don't need this. And then just click upload, upload a file, choose file, and upload your template. So that will be my template, upload this file. So now that the file is uploaded, make sure to change the image here. It says currently it says no image, and change it to, sorry, sample certificate. No, I think that's not the one. Let me just save it first. And I'll go back, edit this one. Yeah, I'll just choose this. Yeah. So this is the certificate, the background image, then save changes. So how will you know that the background image has been applied to your certificate? You can just click reposition elements here, and it will basically open up the certificate. If you notice, task ay siya, right? So you can adjust the width and the height. Just cancel this one. And then you adjust the width. Let's just say, let's make it 300 and let's make the height 250. Let's save changes. And then let's try to click reposition elements. So it's more like that. So now that you have the background image for your certificate, what you can do is you're going to add elements now, like for example, student name, like the date, like the name of the course. But for sample purposes, we're just going to add the name of the students. So we're going to add an element, but instead of using the background image, we will be using the student name. So right, because we already have the background image, we will choose student name and then add element. So in this page, you can customize the student name, because by default, if you save it as is, save changes, and then you go to reposition elements, this will be the student name, right? So di siya mubagay sa imong certificate because the font is too small. So you have to adjust the font, cancel, and then adjust the student name. In terms of the size, we're just going to change it to at least 3.5. You can change the font if you want. You can change the width, the color if you want. For example, the color is in hex, by the way, so you can just use the mouse to choose what particular color do you want, and then save changes. And from here, just click reposition elements, and there is your student name. Okay, you just adjust the student name based on the actual location to the certificate. And if you're okay with that, just click save and close. Okay. And then I'm going to click save changes. And if you want to preview the certificate, so basically this will be downloaded via PDF. So I'm going to save changes and preview. So as you can see, the certificate is being downloaded. I'm going to open it now. And there's my certificate. So as a student, how are you going to access the certificate? So for those who are enrolled in the course, I want you to wait, just wait. So remember earlier when we set up the certificate, I make it in such a way that it will be hidden to students. So I'm going to show this one on the course page. I'm going to save. Sige, if you are still inside the course, I want you to access the sample certificate. So basically, when you open it, it will download a certificate with your name on the certificate. That's the manual way of awarding the certificate. Let the student access the certificate. It will be downloaded on their end with their name on the certificate. Can you try it and tell me if it's worked? I hope it's working. Just go inside the digital certificates tab and then just click sample certificate. There you go. It worked. Thank you, ma'am. So that's how easy it is to create a certificate and then hand it over to the students, right? So that's manual. So this is manual pa lang. There we can also condition it in such a way that, for example, a student completed a particular activity in your course, then they will be rewarded with this particular certificate. Make sure lang for certificate, just make sure that you have at least a good looking template because then again, the students wants to have a good looking certificate. For certificates, you can always use Canva. This is just a free platform. You can look up to thousands or not hundreds of templates, certificate templates, and then you can manipulate all the elements on these templates. Yes, thank you, ma'am. So I have an example here. So if you notice, I have three activities, right? So this is the certificate that we created just now. So if you take a look at the upper part, you have a quiz and then you have a certificate. So what we're going to do is I want you to take, this is just a sample quiz. Don't take it too seriously. Okay. I want you to take the quiz and then immediately after taking the quiz, you will be uh, you will be given the certificate of attendance for today's session. This is just a dummy certificate of attendance, just for sample purposes. Okay, so this is just a way of showing you that you can hand over a certificate automatically by just setting up conditions wherein if a student completed a particular task. Yes, I'm going to show it now. This is just a 5-item quiz, and you can only access the certificate once you completed the quiz. Sorry, I'm going to add restriction. So check up quiz. Okay, so just finish the quiz first. And once you finish the quiz, you can then access the certificate of attendance. Awarding a certificate is just like awarding a badge. You can have it awarded manually. You can also set conditions so that certificates will be awarded automatically to the students. Again, as a suggestion, make sure that you have your template first before you create a custom certificate inside your virtual classroom. Sir, can I create a custom certificate without the template? Yes, you can, but it would be easier if you have the template. If you were able to access the certificate of attendance after taking the quiz, just give me a thumbs up. Oh, sorry, what happened? Ah, yeah, sorry for that because I actually deleted the file for this. Sorry. Let me just edit the certificate. Okay. Let me just change the background image. Um, I will just be using I was just going to upload na lang. I'm going to upload the sample certificate. So, and then save changes, preview. Can you please re-access the certificate? It should be working now. Ma'am Nasvik, can you please access the certificate of attendance?
Yes, okay na, got
All
it.
right. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So that's how you set up certificates. So these are digital certificates. By the way, you can set conditions like, for example, if the student will not attend a particular Zoom session, if a student will not take a particular quiz or will not read a particular resource or resources in your course, then they cannot access this particular certificate. Just like awarding badges, you set conditions. It's the same with certificates. Okay? Any questions for badges and for certificates? Wala ra?
Yeah, question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can we apply a digital certificate, for instance, we're having a conference outside of the virtual classroom? So dili pwedeng dili enrolled. For
Yes, ma'am.
example, like a webinar that we will be conducting and
Mm-hmm.
then using Zoom.
Mm. I think there's a different platform for that, ma'am. But the current one that we are using is for inside lang our virtual classrooms for
Okay,
all the students that are enrolled inside a virtual classroom.
thank you so much.
To preview, ma'am, Ma'am Gladys, to preview, just click certificate of attendance and then view certificate. From the teacher side, okay, just click certificate of attendance and then you can just right click inside the actual certificate, ma'am. Just go to the gear icon and then edit certificate. And from here, you can click preview, save changes and preview. When you click save changes and preview, it will just download a PDF copy of the certificate. So instead of encoding the names, just like PLD, wherein you don't need to encode the names of the students individually on the alert box. So it's the same with digital certificates. There's no need for you to encode the names of the students individually on the certificate. All you have to do is just set it up and then put some restrictions on the certificate so that the students can only access it if they completed a particular task. Like this, ma'am. For example, you are in the course page and then you simply click the certificate, this one. And from here, you can go to the gear icon and then edit certificate. And once you're there, you can set it up. And if you want to see the preview of your certificate, just click Save Changes and Preview. And it will just download a copy of your certificate. All right. So by the way, Ma'am Alfie will be sending the evaluation form for this training. Uh, you will be given the certificates for this training after you completed the the evaluation form. Any question? Wala na? Okay. For Ma'am Grace, maybe this is what happened, Ma'am. When you create a custom certificate, make sure to change the background. This one, ma'am, save and display. And then we're going to edit the certificate. And you have to change the background, add element. By default, this will be the background, ma'am. You have two backgrounds. So you can just remove or you can just upload your own image. And then, for example, I'm going to upload this one, upload this file, and then remove the current certificate background, save changes. And from there, you can then go to the gear icon, you select your image and then save changes. And it will be applied. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome, Ma'am Nasvik. Uh, thank you for attending today's session. Sige, thank you, Ma'am Alfie. By the way, if you have no more question, thank you so much for attending today's session. Can you open your webcams first? Let's have a group pictorial. All right. If it's okay with you, let's have a group picture for documentation purposes. Thank you so much. Gallery view. Let me just stop the sharing and then view gallery view. Sige lang ha. Okay, one moment. Okay, one, two, three, and smile. Okay, all right, that's it. Thank you so much for attending today's session, and I hope you learned something new today. And hope to see you on our next sessions. Thank you.